Hi, I'm Alicia from Alicia Cuglietta Yoga and Vegas Feminine Wellness Facebook group. And I've been racking my brain trying to decide what video I wanted to film for you guys today. Something that would cross over into all the different conditions I work with. And I decided on child's pose. I'll demonstrate it in a minute. But child's pose is a great pose for everything. It is very soothing to the nervous system because whenever we fold forward, it is just a calming kind of fold over and protect ourselves kind of movement. And when we add a deep, full body, expansive breath to it, that also just soothes and regulates the nervous system. So it's great for anxiety, stress. Um, it's great for back pain. When we take the shape, it stretches all the muscles along the back. It's a really nice stretch for back pain conditions. And it's a great pose for pelvic floor issues as well, because if we get into it the right way and we use, once again, that full body expansive breath, it really helps us breathe down between the sit bones and get that pelvic floor to stretch and contract like it's supposed to. Now, as great as child's pose is, it's not accessible to everyone. I did film another video about child's pose a ways back when I was doing a video for scoliosis. That video has some modifications and variations to child's pose that may make it more comfortable if you have knee issues and things like that. So if you need a little more support in the pose, I encourage you to check out that video. It's here on YouTube and also in the media section of the Facebook group. So what I'm going to be showing today, the way I'm going to modify it is two reasons. For back pain conditions, I did mention that it's a very nice stretch. But if we have a bulging or herniated disc, rounding the spine is contraindicated. It's not something we want to do because it encourages the disc to move further out. So this is going to work nice as a variation for that kind of a back pain condition. And then it's also important for the pelvic floor. Again, when the spine's rounded, our tailbone tucks. When our tailbone tucks, it's like it closes the pelvic floor. It brings the sit bones closer together and it shortens the back end of the pelvic floor muscles. Think of a dog when it tucks its tail, when it's scared, everything like, And we don't want that when we're trying to get the breath to move. Breathing into the pelvic floor is the number one way to improve your pelvic floor health. We have to learn how to do it. So this position is great. Herniated or bulging disc, great way to keep the tailbone from untucking so that we can really get that breath to move. So for those of you that don't know what child's pose is, I'm going to show you really quick. So in a traditional yoga class, this is child's pose. Or this is child's pose, or this is child's pose, or this is child's pose. So lots of different little variations. Now, as I said, it's not accessible to everybody to get down. Oh, by the way, if getting up and down off the floor is a challenge, all this can be done in your bed. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but as I'm here rounded forward, this is where the tailbone tucking can kind of happen. So what we're going to do is kind of build up the floor to be more supportive. So I have yoga props. I'm a yoga therapist, so yoga props coming out of my ears. Not everyone has them, so I have some ideas to kind of make your own props at home. So if I build myself up, I'm going to turn to look and see. I'm still kind of rounded. I kind of like the way that looks. My back's flatter. I feel like my sit bones are kind of moving away from each other. But if I don't like the way my head turned feels, I can take another blanket and give myself a forehead rest. I'm going to move the bolsters in a little further because I want my belly to rest on the bolster. Now what this does is with the pressure of the belly against the bolster, when we breathe down into that full body breath, the bolster makes it so that the breath will move deeper down into the abdomen, deeper down into the pelvic floor. So this is a great way to breathe deeply. Now, for the same reason for that back pain condition, bulging or herniated disc, same thing. You might have noticed my back was flatter. It was no longer rounded. So keep that in mind if you have either of the, if you have the bulging or herniated disc. Now, if we don't have bolsters and blankets, we do usually have regular home blankets. My dog sleeps on this one and got it kind of scroungy looking. Anyway, I have 2 pillows off my bed and the blanket that I lay at the foot of my bed. So I'm going to try to recreate this. It's a little squishier, but again, I feel like my back's flatter, my tailbone's not as tucked. And the pillows still provide that nice barrier or resistance to breathe down into, to help the breath breathe down between my sit bones. So you can use pillows, you can take bath towels and fold them kind of in the same shape, stack up some bath towels. You could roll a blanket, that would make more of a round bolster shape. So lots of ways to do it. But if you're looking for anxiety relief, but you have some back issues that you need to protect, this is a great position for that. If you are working on any pelvic floor issues, this is the way to do it. Again, number one, first thing we want to do is get that breath, which is really the diaphragm breathing down into the internal organs, breathing the internal organs down into the pelvic floor. That is the way we start creating some balance in the pelvic floor. We've got to breathe down there. Tailbone's tucked, not going to happen. So this is a great way to try it. If you have any questions, please message me either through, leave a comment on YouTube or message me through the Facebook group. I would love to answer your questions. So thank you for being here. I hope this has been helpful.